Happy Dark October. So I thought I'd share where I ended up on Dutch Beauty, my dark beauty version for Sampler September and Back to School Sal. I didn't get as far as I would have liked, but in September, basically, I stitched this little pot of irises. I started ripping out and restitching my border in the color that I'm going to use, and I did as much as you see of this motif. So I think that I'm happy with the pot and how the pot looks. I'm not entirely sold on the colors of my flowers, but I wanted to wait until I got the third flower color in before I really made a decision. But I do like that kind of poison green. That's what I was going for. But night before last, I stitched basically all of this and then realized I had a mistake and had to rip all of it out. And so yesterday I restitched that, but obviously I did not get that tulip finished. And I've got to finish these leaves and then obviously do the tulips on this side. But I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get this motif done, but this was a big motif. So at least I think I've got it in a good place so that the next time I pick it up, it'll be a little easier. Let's hope. So that was my progress on Dutch Beauty for September and where I'm leaving it. So today is the first day of October and the first day of Dark October stitching, and I am not feeling great. So I think I'm going to push the easy button for today, and I've got two projects that are already in QSnap, so I think I'm going to work on one of these, either my Greenhouse of Oddities Sal from Lola Crow, and on this one I need to finish doing the base down here, and then I can start doing the gray and the white reflections and kind of the background pieces before I start filling in the plants. So I can work on that. That should be relatively mindless. I also have my tombstone spots, which is in a QSnap already. And so rather than have to take something out of a QSnap, put something in a QSnap, fuss with that, I just thought I'm just going to stitch one of these two things that's already in a QSnap. So here I am on tombstone spots, and I'm kind of working in this area. So we'll see what I decide tonight. I'm going to kind of make a game time decision about which of these I work on, but it'll be one of these two. So happy Sunday. Today is October 2nd. It's Monday morning, and I thought I'd show you what I decided to work on last night. I decided to go with my Greenhouse of Oddities Sal. Like I said, I was kind of not feeling great, and so I decided to push the easy button and pick something that was already on the Q snap. So last night I was able to get all of this done, and that kind of goes across 3 pages, so it's a little bit of trying to make sure that you're matched up correctly, but I got all of this done. So I have a little bit that I need to do of the black that goes kind of on top of the dirt, but it's just sort of like scattered stitches up here, and then that's kind of it for the black that I need to do. And so then the next thing that I'm gonna do is, you can see like the white stitches and the gray stitches that kind of form the shadow of the background here, and then the highlights of the glass. So I'm gonna go in and do all of that. I'll do as much of this on the sides that I can, since I'm only kind of going as far as my Q-snap will allow me to. And then I can start putting in the stuff, the plants and the little frog and the little mole and stuff like that. So I'm eager to get the structure finished so that I can start on the things. So that's what I did last night. Watched Doctor Who, and got that bottom section done, which I'm really pleased about. So that's where we're at. So this is my bookshelf in my office / craft room, and I have a bunch of stuff up here. And Eric built me this shelf to hold like my little finished pieces. But it's been kind of the same for years. I mean, I've added a few things to it, but it really hasn't changed in a long time. And so recently I bought this ghost. It's ceramic, it's a lamp, and it has like an orange light in it. And I bought it because my mom and my grandma used to do ceramics all the time when I was growing up, and they had made one from this same mold, and I was really sad that I don't have that. And so I just went out and found one on Etsy and bought it for myself. And I absolutely love it. I don't have anywhere to plug it in up here on the top of my bookshelf, but at least it's safe. But I've sort of been contemplating redoing the top of my bookcase and my shelf up there to just make it like spooky stuff. Not just for October, but just sort of year round. I just haven't really done it. So I think maybe that may be one of my October projects, is to kind of redo everything and just revamp it and put some spooky stuff up here. Plus I have a little Halloween tree that I kind of want to put out. I'll see if it'll fit up here. But this is the state of it before, and maybe we'll play around with it. It's Tuesday, October 3rd, and I made a little bit of progress on my greenhouse of oddities last night. I have my SGR book club on Thursday, so I'm trying to finish my book. So I got kind of a late start on my stitching, but I got all this black done that's on top of like the dirt and stuff that's down here at the bottom. Got all that done, and then I came up here and I started on this gray that's like the back half of this sphere, so circle, whatever we're calling it. It's early. So I've started on that, and hopefully I can get all of the gray and the white done in that dome tonight. We shall see. But I like that it gives it that extra dimension. Hey friends, today is Wednesday, October 4th, I think, and I wanted to share my progress from last night on my greenhouse. So I was working on this background shadow of all of the supports. Why am I having such a hard time with words? So I managed to finish everything up here in this dome of the gray, and I got this side done as far as I could. I just have my thread like actually parked over here, but I got as far as I could on this side. I want to do the gray on this side, and then I'll come back in and do all of the white reflections. So yeah, I'm pleased with how much I got done last night, and I hope that I can get the rest of this gray and then maybe the white highlights done tonight. That would be awesome. I'm also in the process of trying to organize my craft closet because it's a hot mess. And I found my project bag from Ship of Life where I just never put anything away. So I started pulling out the threads this morning and trying to figure out where I borrowed them from and where they need to go back to. So I've started doing that this morning. And I have all this listed on my spreadsheet that I use, but I just made myself a quick note as to kind of where these need to go back to. So I started putting them away, and I still have a few left to do that the bags are farther down in the pile. So yeah, this is one reason why having so many whips makes me crazy, is because I have all these threads that are scattered amongst all of these pieces. And so anytime I want to start something new, and sometimes when I pull out a whip to work on, I discover that I've stolen the threads for something else, or the threads are in a project and I need to go find them, or whatever. So that's one of the reasons that having so many WIPs just annoys the crap out of me, and is a little stressful. I realize that people that just buy new thread for every project don't have this problem. And so, yeah, if I wanted to do that and just buy new threads for every project, I wouldn't have this problem, but that's not me. So, yeah, I'm going to try to get the rest of these put away this morning and we'll see how it goes. Hi friends, today is Thursday, October 5th, and I am struggling today. So I'm sitting down while I film this, which you can't tell, but whatever. So I worked on my greenhouse of oddities again last night, and I did the gray over on this side as far as I could go, thanks to my Q-snap. And then I started on the white. And when I started on the white, I was a little concerned that it wasn't going to show up on my fabric, but it does, and I'm very pleased with that. So I got the white reflections done on the left-hand side, and then I started them in the center dome. I have probably 2.5 pieces left here to do, and then I can do this one. I had hoped to get all the white done last night, but that just didn't happen. So yeah, that's just how it be sometimes. But I did, since I am struggling, I did want to take a minute and just throw it out there that Emily and I were having a conversation over the weekend, and I had mentioned that I was not feeling great, and just I think I mentioned here that I had hit the easy button for choosing a project to work on for Dark October, and I just wanted to say that, especially for people that love October, that love fall, sometimes it can feel like a little bit of pressure to, really enjoy it, really make the most of it, and, live your best spooky life. But, sometimes that pressure can be really overwhelming, especially when, life is super busy, or when you're just not feeling well, either physically or mentally. And that's just an extra little bit of pressure. And I know that I've, gone through this several Dark Octobers, where I've had migraines or whatever. And part of that is just due to the fact that, it's October, it's fall, the weather is changing. Sometimes we have rain, sometimes the temperatures are, back and forth. And, so it may be several days that I don't get to stitch. And you know, in the back of my head is always that voice saying, you know, this is your favorite time of year and you're wasting it. And that's just, it's not helpful to anyone. So I'm trying to give myself some grace. And, you know, I talked about this with Emily too. And I wanted to throw it out there and, you know, extend that grace to anyone that might be, you know, kind of feeling that pressure. And, you know, we're doing Dark October self-care. So, you know, you can still have a fantastic spooky season. You can still enjoy fall and October, and you can do it no pressure. And if that means sitting on your couch and eating lemon icing out of the container with a spoon and just vegging, then that's what that means. If it means, you know, watching your favorite scary movies or, you know, listening to an audiobook and not stitching, that's what it means. If you just need cozy naps and tea, then, you know, do what you need to do for yourself. But I just wanted to throw it out there that I think sometimes we put that extra pressure on ourselves because we are so excited for this time of year and for Dark October stitching and what have you, and it can just be a lot. So I'm giving myself some grace. I hope that you are too. In fact, I did finish reading, well, let me show you that book cover. Hang on. Okay, well, reflection. I did finish reading The Dressmakers of Auschwitz, which is my book for book club. Book club is tonight. And I wanted to use this as a little bit of a, you know, an example of making it easier on yourself. So I started reading this book. I checked it out from the library. I started reading it, and I was honestly struggling, absolutely struggling with reading it. Part of it is because of the subject matter. It's a hard book to read. But part of it was just having a really, really hard time focusing. And so I ended up checking out the audiobook and doing the audiobook version of it. And that helped me tremendously because I was able to listen to it while I was working on other things. And that helped me focus a little bit better on it. And it also made it maybe a little bit easier to get through. So I just wanted to use that as an example also of sometimes you just gotta, you know, change gears and give yourself a little bit of a break and, you know, figure out what's gonna work for you. So this was a really good book, but like I said, very, very difficult to read in that obviously the subject matter is just emotionally a lot. So, but it is well worth the read. And I'm looking forward to the conversation tonight in book club. So got this finished, and now I'm gonna transition over to my spooky books that I plan to read for Dark October. So I'm excited about that. So, all right, that's it for me today, but just a reminder, go easy on yourself. Dark October self-care is in effect, and do what you can. Enjoy the things that bring you happiness this time of year with no pressure. So I had to go out today to get my allergy shots, and I decided that this was the perfect meaningful thing to listen to. I saw a meme the other day that had some scenes from the movie in it, and it was like, you know, welcome to Twilight season. Because yeah, that's totally a vibe. So I dug this out today, and I've been listening to it on my drive, and boy, that brings back a lot of memories. Like going to the midnight showing, like the opening night of the movie, reading the books. It just brings like so many memories back. It's crazy. So I'm glad I dug this out. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. And because I finished my other book this morning for book club, I decided to pick up Dowry of Blood to read it. And this is my first of my Dark October reads. But since I was going out and about, I took the cover off, which is kind of my typical MO, because I don't want the cover to get damaged. But I found a little surprise when I took the cover off. Look at that. So beautiful. I love little hidden things like that had I never taken the cover off, I would not have known. So really beautiful, and I've started reading it, and I'm enjoying it so far. Very excited. So this has been a good little outing, despite the fact that I had to get my allergy shots. Today is Friday, October 6th, and thought I'd show you where I got to last night on my greenhouse of oddities. So I got the last of the white highlighting done, so that's all completed. And then I came down here so that I could start working on filling in this dirt. And there's like multiple colors in the dirt. And it's a little bit of confetti, because obviously there's things that are gonna go in the dirt. So I started working down here, and so I've got black and I've got 3371, which is, you know, that dark brown, which obviously you can't see the difference between that whatsoever. But I did start working on that. As I was working on this area, I realized that these two little black spots were in the wrong place, so I had to rip those out, fix that. And I've worked a little bit in here, but yeah, nothing too terribly exciting, and nothing that you can really see. But that's what I did last night. Tonight is probably going to be my last night with this, because on Saturdays we have family dinner, and that usually goes pretty late, so I don't normally get any stitching in on Saturdays. And then I'll switch to my next piece, which I don't know what that's going to be yet. But I did have my SGR book club last night, and we discussed the dressmakers of Auschwitz, and it was a really good discussion. So that was good. I worked on my stitching while we were talking, and then afterwards. And yeah, I've started Dowry of Blood, which I showed you yesterday, and really loving that so far. So that's about it for me today. I'm glad it's Friday. I woke up with a migraine this morning, so hopefully I will be able to stitch later tonight. But for now, just trying to get through the day. Hi guys, it is Saturday, October 7th, and unfortunately I'm still struggling with this migraine. We had a front come in last night and I was hoping that would resolve it, but the weather is going to change again tonight, so yeah. But I did manage some stitching. So I really wanted to get some more color in here, and I managed to do it, as you can see. Look at this little guy. So I really wanted to get that frog stitched in there, and so I just focused on this area. I put 3 more colors of brown in here, which you can't even tell the difference between them, which is a little annoying, but it is what it is. And because he has little back stitched feet that go over stitches, I needed to get all the ground stitching in first. So got all this in. I got his little rock that he's sitting on stitched, and then I stitched him. And he is a golden poison dart frog. So I love him. I love him. And I have all of my threads parked over here for whenever I move the Q-snap. But isn't he just the cutest? So this is where I'm going to leave this piece for now. We have family dinner tonight, which is always a really late night, and so probably no stitching, but I will pick up something new to work on for the next week tomorrow. I'm thinking it might be tombstone spots, because on Friday, next Friday is the 13th, so I'm going to start something new for that. So I'll only have Sunday through Thursday on a piece. So I'm kind of thinking I might just work on tombstone spots. We'll see. And I need to get my clips put together and edited so that I can get this week 1 vlog up. But that's where I left my greenhouse of oddities. Loving it. That frog is just chef's kiss.